begin this afternoon with new information about internal jostling within the Liberal Party over its position on The Voice. The decision by Peter Dutton and the Liberal Party room on the Indigenous Voice to Parliament being enshrined in the Constitution, we can reveal again was not without complication. Already yesterday, Sky News revealed 5 Liberal MPs in the party room who spoke against opposing The Voice or raised concerns about the Liberal stance. Well, I understand from several sources that Julian Leeser, the Shadow Attorney-General and Shadow Indigenous Affairs Minister, wanted to wait until the parliamentary committee process was over in terms of examining the government's proposed referendum question before the Liberals would make a decision on their stance on the Voice proposal. Leeser also advocated, as I understand it, for a free vote for frontbenchers as well as backbenchers. We know yesterday Peter Dutton bound his front bench to a no position on the Voice. It has also been put to me that Deputy Liberal leader Susan Lee has been a key figure in coming up with this Liberal position, that Ms Lee did not want to come to just a no position here. She wanted the opposition to have a positive plan on constitutional recognition and regional voice bodies, which she wasted no time making clear in the press conference yesterday.
Today is not a no from the Liberal Party. It's a day of many yeses. Yes to constitutional recognition of Indigenous Australians. Yes to local and regional voices. Yes to better outcomes for Indigenous Australians. Yes to Australians having their say, even if the Prime Minister is determined to continue his my way or the highway approach. And yes to uniting this country behind doing everything that we can as a parliament to strengthen outcomes for Indigenous Australians. But it's a no for dividing Australians.
Well, today, as you might expect, Noel Pearson and the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese were piling in on the Dutton Voice position.
He's like the national undertaker, seeking to kill Uluru and bury it in a hole. He's going to be stalking around the countryside trying to kill the Uluru Statement from their heart.
They have chosen this particular road, and I think it's a low road that they have chosen. As Noel Pearson said this morning, Peter Dutton is acting like the undertaker preparing the grave to bury Uluru. Everyone knows that from day one, Peter Dutton, the person who walked out on the apology to stolen generations, who threatened to resign from the front bench because Brendan Nelson was showing leadership in supporting the apology to the stolen generations, is now walking away from his responsibility.
The opposition leader has sent his own correspondence out to Liberal Party members and supporters saying the following, quote, "We will oppose the Prime Minister's model because it will enshrine in the Constitution a Canberra-based bureaucracy. It is a risky and divisive proposal that will not deliver practical outcomes. Improving outcomes for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australians require a sensible and practical approach. That's why we reaffirm our commitment to local and regional advisory bodies to provide grassroots advice." Peter Dutton goes on, "We support the recognition of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders as Australia's first people in our Constitution, but we would do so in a responsible way that doesn't create constitutional uncertainty. A referendum to enshrine the Albanese government's voice in the Constitution is a big decision with unknown consequences," he warns. "Once in the Constitution," Peter Dutton says, "it is permanent, it won't be changed. The government or parliament cannot rectify any unintended consequences." Now, one Liberal frontbencher actually expressed to me wistfully this morning that they wish that a previous PM like Tony Abbott or Malcolm Turnbull had bitten the bullet on constitutional recognition and that it wasn't tied up with the Voice advisory body.